Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinka.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you need to develop into a better leader, this podcast is for you. If you want to achieve a greater level of success, this podcast is for you. His mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell, said it best: everything rises and falls on leadership. We hope to inspire you today and provide you with an insight that has the potential to positively impact the trajectory of your life. Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast.
Imagine gaining the leadership skills that could redefine your career. Join Coach BZ on the Leadership and Success Podcast, where each episode delivers practical insights from world-class speakers, military leaders, and industry experts. We dive deep into what matters most: building resilient teams, leading through uncertainty, and navigating complexity with clarity and confidence. Every conversation is crafted for aspiring leaders like you who are ready to grow, lead, and make a lasting impact. Don't miss our powerful live sessions and recent highlights. Michelle Hayward on building diverse, high-performing technical teams. Ann Leslie on leading through global complexity and cybersecurity risk. Ron Carpenter AI exploring faith, resilience, and AI-powered leadership. Colonel Michelle G.I. Gardner-Ince on commanding influence from the battlefield to the boardroom. Chris Robinson on shifting from drift to drive in life and leadership. And Coach Enrique Acosta Gonzalez on mentorship, legacy, and heart-centered leadership. Ready to level up your leadership journey? Tune in on Spotify, Apple, Audible Podcasts, YouTube Live, and LinkedIn Live. Join the movement toward leadership excellence. Listen now and start transforming your success. Chris Robinson on shifting from drift to drive in life and leadership. And Coach Enrique. What if your next keynote speaker could bridge the worlds of national defense, Silicon Valley innovation, and global leadership? Meet Bob Fabian, BZ Zinga, award-winning keynote speaker, U.S. Navy Information Warfare Commander, and trusted executive in technology, leadership, and strategy. With over 20 years of proven leadership in the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Navy, higher education, and the high-tech sector, from startups to Fortune 500 companies, BZ delivers keynote experiences that inspire, challenge, and equip leaders for real-world impact. BZ speaks with authority on cybersecurity and national security, strategies to safeguard critical assets in an age of constant threat, artificial intelligence and emerging technology, how to innovate responsibly while staying ahead of disruption, leadership and corporate governance, building resilient, ethical, and high-performance organizations in any environment. Every keynote blends military precision, Silicon Valley agility, and boardroom strategy, delivering practical takeaways that leaders can apply immediately. Audiences leave inspired, informed, and ready to lead with clarity and courage. Whether you're hosting a global conference, corporate summit, or leadership retreat, book BZ to energize your event and empower your audience to lead in a rapidly changing world.
And professionally as well. Okay, we've already spent more than 30 minutes on the call. I could talk with you for forever. I want to get to my 7 favorite questions. So number 1 is, what is the greatest lesson you have learned? What do you think is the secret of your success?
Well, this lesson I learned when I integrated to school, when I moved from Washington, D.C. to Virginia, right? What I learned was everybody wants the exact same thing. They want to be loved, they want to be respected, and they want to be successful. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what your nationality is. I don't care what your sexual orientation is.
Yes.
I don't care where you came from. Everybody wants the same thing. So going through life, I understand that. So when somebody says something to me that's disrespectful or whatever, it's not my problem. They got the issue, right?
Yes.
So again, if I believe that everybody wants the same thing, then I got to figure out what is it that that person's missing,
Hmm.
kind of help them get it. If I can help them get it, I got a friend for life, a loyal friend for life that'll
Wow.
move heaven and earth for me, right? So once you understand that, then it's a powerful tool. I mean, you got the power, and it's almost like
Yes.
martial arts. In martial arts, if somebody comes at you fast, you don't force with force. You use
Hmm.
their power to leverage them. So
Yes.
in that situation with people, if people comes to me saying things wrong or whatever, and I speak softly and show them love, that's kind of the same thing. They
Yes.
can't you can't argue with somebody that's loving you. You can't do that.
Wow, that is quite powerful. It reminds me of something Oprah had said. Of course, she's interviewed everybody, but even when she talked with great dignitary or even to people that nobody absolutely knew, at the end of every single interview, people were just like, no, did I do okay? Did you hear me? Can you validate what I just said? You are correct. I think that's something that everybody in the world, regardless of their rank position in life, they just want to know that yes, I have heard you. Yes, I care. Uh,
All right, hello everybody. This is Coach Busy. Today is Monday, August the 18th, and I'm live on LinkedIn and on YouTube. And if you would please let us know where you are coming from, which city, which state, and if outside of the US, what country. And also, please tag someone if this podcast is adding value to you and you think it might be beneficial to someone in your inner circle. Please tag them, whether it's a junior officer or a colleague or teammate, and have them join the conversation. So, like the post and add your comment where you come from. And also, if you have a question for me, please go ahead and type the question in the comment. And by the end of the broadcast today, I'm gonna come back and we're going to be addressing those questions. And also, as you guys are listening to the podcast, please go ahead and type in your key lesson or the key takeaways from what you are listening. Write it down in the comment section and let everybody else know so we can learn from one another. So, today is a great day. I'm going to be giving you a summary of the discussion I had with Carl Sharperson back on season 2, episode 12. So we are going to be talking about that. And in this recap, we're going to be talking about developing the mindset of never quitting, why persistence outlasts talent. And actually, yesterday I did write a post on LinkedIn about never quitting. That is really a 98% of success. Someone says 1% of success is talent, 1% of success is luck, but 98% is never, ever quitting. So that's a very important mindset to have. Okay, we're going to be talking about transforming adversity into an accelerator for growth. And one of the most important article I think I've written is embracing the impossible. If you haven't read it yet, please read the article and watch the podcast. I think it's very, very important because in life, things are not going to be easy. You are going to face all kind of obstacle, and you need to have a mindset that in the end you win. So you don't want to give up. You want to go through it. You want to be resilient. You want to have great, right? And that's also part of the reason why the book I'm writing right now, the 10 Commandments of Resilient Leadership. I've actually written half of the book already, but it's very, very important for you if you want to have success to have a mindset. I will never quit, and I'm going to get through whatever it is I'm getting. I whatever it is that I have to get through in order for me to succeed at the end. So never quit. So we're going to be talking about building trust through competence and character, and everyone deserve dignity and respect from janitor to executive, right? And finally, we're going to be talking about leading with faith, humility, and the legacy that outlives our career. All right, so I'm gonna, without no further ado, I'm gonna get my AI agent to give us the 10-minute summary of the podcast. And after that, I'm going to have a couple of more teaser. But again, I encourage everyone to please go watch the full episodes. That's season 2, episode 12. You can find it everywhere podcasts are available. And here come the summary. See you in just a moment.
Welcome to our discussion on sharp leadership. Today, we dive deep into the powerful journey of Carl H. Sharperson Jr., from the roots of a sharecropper family to Marine pilot and Fortune 5 leader.
Absolutely, it's an inspiring roadmap. What strikes you the most about his story?
You know, the first lesson is the mindset of never quitting. Carl's coach once said, "Quitters never win, and winners never quit." And that talk really set the tone. He
Indeed.
carried that mindset from a challenging high school to the Naval Academy and beyond.
I think that's incredible. Coming from a tough background and then facing a hostile environment at school, it's like resilience forged his character early on.
Right? And it wasn't just about enduring school hardships. It was about transforming those hardships into stepping stones. You could almost say his early life was a boot camp for character building.
Yeah, for sure. And then there's adversity itself acting as an accelerator for growth. Carl battled a brain tumor back in '83 and later even stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's fascinating how he treated those challenges just like his military flight training. Assess, plan, execute.
Exactly. It's like he saw obstacles as opportunities. I mean, adversity isn't a dead end. It's more like a launch pad for creative thinking and resilience.
Yep, indeed. Now, I have to ask, sometimes people say that facing such hardships might lead one to become overly guarded. How do you see his approach in terms of vulnerability versus toughness?
That's a fair point. And I think Carl's journey teaches us that being tough doesn't mean shutting down vulnerability. In fact, he built relationships and wasn't afraid to ask for help during his toughest times, like when he faced financial devastation during his illness.
Right. So it's about striking a balance, expertise and strength coupled with humility.
Exactly. And that leads us directly to another core lesson: the power of relationships and asking for help. Remember, he mentioned that his Naval Academy classmates raised funds for him long before crowdfunding was even a thought.
Absolutely, that's really touching. And his wife's support during her health battle really added that layer of reciprocity and leadership, right?
Yes, it really reinforces that leadership is not about solitary achievement. It's about interdependence, recognizing that you need your community and your team.
Couldn't agree more.
And speaking of community, he took a unique approach by treating everyone with dignity and respect. He would start with the janitor or the most disgruntled employee because often those voices hold the deepest insights.
Right, yes. It's almost counterintuitive at times because we tend to focus on higher ranks, but his belief stands that the complainers or overlooked ones might just be the smartest in the room.
Definitely, it's a lesson in inclusive leadership. And when you build trust across the board, you create an environment where even dissenting voices can pave the way for innovation.
Exactly. Now, another compelling element is the idea of speed to trust. How does that really connect with his overall leadership philosophy?
Well, Carl emphasizes that when trust exists, everything, be it decision-making or execution, moves faster. Think of it as reducing friction in any process. He highlights two key aspects: competence and character, and how they shape people's confidence.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like, if you have the right mix of skills and integrity, not only do you get things done quicker, but you also build a legacy of reliability.
Right on, absolutely. And speaking of legacies, Carl's later life also stresses the importance of continuous learning and paying it forward. That connection between lifelong learning and mentoring really speaks volumes.
Exactly. He actively sought mentorship from everyone, even approaching high-profile figures. And his belief that the ultimate test of learning is whether you help someone else, it's powerful.
Very powerful indeed.
I mean, it ties back to the idea that leadership is all about service. Whether you're a junior officer or a tech leader, the lessons of humility, resilience, and service apply everywhere.
Absolutely, it's universal. Now, can we talk a bit about how faith, family, and legacy intertwine in his story?
Oh, for sure. Carl makes it clear that leadership is inseparable from faith and family. His reliance on God during his health battles and his service to homeless veterans show that true leadership is also about personal integrity and caring for others.
Right, yes, indeed.
And his statement, "If I had one day left, I'd want my legacy to be that others could stand on my shoulders," really captures the essence of serving for something bigger than oneself.
That's such a vivid image. It's like he's saying that leadership is measured not by titles or wealth, but by the impact on others, by building a legacy of service and trust.
Exactly. And each of these lessons, from never quitting to continuously learning, builds a framework for what he calls sharp leadership.
Right, real leadership with authenticity.
And interestingly, his journey began with a strict military mindset, but evolved into something much broader, a blueprint for servant leadership in both military and tech fields.
True, it shows that adversity and challenge can be channeled into leadership excellence. However, I'd like to respectfully challenge one point. Sometimes, in corporate and tech settings, the idea of always asking for help might be seen as a vulnerability. Don't you think that could conflict with the image of a strong leader?
That's a fair perspective. But I believe Carl's message is that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's a strategic move. It's about building a network of trust and interdependence rather
Yeah,
than
I see your point.
isolation.
Trusting others and creating a collaborative environment is indeed a strength. I guess it comes down to the idea that true leadership is multidimensional. You need both independence and the ability to leverage collective strength.
Precisely. And his leadership lessons, when applied, can make decision-making, especially in high-stress military and tech environments, so much more effective. It's like having a playbook that values both personal grit and communal support.
Exactly.
Also, think about the lesson on treating everyone with dignity. It might sound idealistic, but in practice, it's a game changer. When you respect every voice, even those from unexpected places, it transforms the culture.
Yep, and it builds bridges rather than walls. It reminds me of how some of the most innovative ideas often come from those you least expect, like that janitor with pearls of wisdom.
Yes, exactly. It's like looking beyond conventional hierarchies to find real insight. This inclusive approach not only builds trust, but also fosters creative problem solving across any organization.
Indeed, very forward thinking.
And finally, there's this call to action he leaves us with about building a legacy, not just in terms of what you do today, but how you serve others and position them for future success.
Right, it's a sort of reflective challenge. What intentional steps are you taking to leave the legacy you desire? It makes you think, if today were your last day, what do you want your team, your community, or your family to remember about you?
Exactly, and that's the transformative part. By embedding these leadership principles, resilience, authenticity, service, trust, you're not just succeeding in your role, you're also inspiring a whole new generation to pick up and carry that torch.
Indeed. So, to wrap up, it's about embracing challenges, asking for help, and always leading with integrity, both in the boardroom and on the battlefield.
Right. Sharp leadership isn't about rank or title. It's about how you overcome adversity and the genuine service you extend to others. And if you take away one thing, it's that every obstacle is a chance to build not just your character, but a legacy that elevates everyone around you.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it better. Well, thanks for this invigorating chat on leadership. It really gives us food for thought, both in our professional and personal lives.
Thank you. Let's keep this conversation alive by putting these lessons into practice. Remember, never quit, always ask for help, and lead with heart and authenticity.
Cheers to that and to building legacies that truly make a difference.
Because I think you have to have a lot of faith to do that. In my career, I've done it one time only. I don't think I will do that again. But just tell me about kind of what went through your mind and just the process, the faith you must have had to just jump and start something from nothing.
Yeah, I assessed the situation. I said, okay, so and one of the things I've always done, even when I was working for other people, is I was getting some skills. And when I did the consulting, when I did the training at the Center for Creative Leadership, I saw people that were doing similar things to me, and I compared myself with what I did, what I knew, and I said, I'm as good as them, so why can't I? You know, so I had that backing behind me, and again, it was a leap of faith. Some people have an entrepreneurial mindset, some people don't. You know,
Mm.
when I was in the Marine Corps, part of the reason I got out of the Marine Corps was because in the Marine Corps, I figured there was a high probability for me to have at least one boss that gave me a bad fitness report and would
Yes.
ruin my career. And I didn't like those odds. I
Yes.
said, let me get out. At least if I have that going on, I can get, I can do something different, So part of I guess I've always had kind of an entrepreneurial type mindset, wanting to do my own thing, and use, and use others. But I can remember a guy talking to me when I was at Procter & Gamble. He was a West Point grad. And he said, my philosophy is to get as high as I can in the organization, as fast as I can, because I want less people telling me what to do.
That's a very good philosophy there. I like that a lot. But another thing I must say, especially in America more than any other country, it doesn't really matter where you start, right? You can start at the very bottom of the ladder, but eventually you can be at the very, very, very top, right? Everything is possible in this country with hard work, I think, and treating people right and being focused, on developing your skills. You can pretty much do anything you want to do. One of the biggest examples in my life is when I did join the Navy. I was a seaman. The greatest lesson I've learned out of that experience was for me to pay it forward. Right? I won't be able to pay back the people who helped me, but I can help somebody else in the future who's going to need my help and who may not be able to be in a position to ever pay me back too. And I think that's kind of what we should be doing as human being. Wow, that is a powerful lesson on leadership. Anything else you would like to add, Carl?
Yeah, the other thing about that also is if you go to any 12-step program, we're
Mm.
talking AA or any addiction, the 12-step program, the last step is to help somebody else.
Wow.
That's the last step. Once you're fully recovered,
Hmm.
then you help somebody else, and that's the last step in that process.
Yes, it's true. What goes around comes around, and people do reap what they sow. And that's another reason why even when people join new organization, sometimes people like to prioritize or treat the executives or senior management extremely well, but then they kind of mistreat the entry level folks or the janitors and things like that. But I really believe you have to treat everybody exactly the same, show them dignity and respect, because you just never know, right? Somebody who may be working for you today, tomorrow might become your boss or
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being with me today for the summary. And hello to Lori Penn. She's letting us know she's joining us from Winnipeg, Central NA. Nice to be and inspiring. Thanks so much, Lori. I appreciate that. And I also understand that Carl Sharperson will be talking to your board. I can't recommend someone high enough. Definitely the right leadership coach and speaker to be speaking to any board. Let me check if I have any other question on YouTube or LinkedIn. Now, there's someone, we also stream on Twitch. It's mostly gamers, so they don't really listen to what I'm saying, but at least I put the material out there in their environment. There is someone who goes by Blue Baseball 0C who just said hi. But anyway, so tomorrow I'm gonna be back here at 6:30, and I'm going to be giving a summary of my mentor John C. Maxwell. He was interviewed, and he was talking about today is now. You don't want to miss it. So. When I first met Dr. Maxwell, I believe it was 2009. I was still living in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. He was a guest speaker at Church of the Island. And what he preached about was Today Matters. And actually, I have a book here somewhere. But anyway, that sermon literally changed my life. right? Yesterday is gone. There's nothing you can do about it. But what you do today, it's a gift from God, and you can do something today that is going to give you a better tomorrow, right? So anyway, be here tomorrow 6:30. We're gonna be talking about today is now. Today matters. All right. Until tomorrow, have a wonderful day. And this is Coach Busy. I will see you again 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time tomorrow. Bye. Bye, everybody. This is Coach Busy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and share.
Thank you for listening to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If you like what you heard, please subscribe to our channels and come back for more wisdom nuggets on how you may develop into a better leader and achieve greater levels of success. Leadership is the most critical skill. The world will always need leaders to lead others, deploy the next disruptive technology, or execute a business strategy. You may as well decide on counting yourself among the 21st century leaders. See you right here next time on the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach